Yes, hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome, everybody. Welcome to New York Carib News Power 100, the virtual vibes. I'm your host, Janice Lawrence Clarke, welcoming you as we close off the celebrations of Caribbean American Heritage Month, which of course was in June, but today is, after all, only the 1st of July, right? So we're continuing it. We can't relegate ourselves to just one month. You know what I mean? We're all over this space. We've been here forever. So welcome. You were just listening to Monty Alexander, who hails from Jamaica, and he is one of our Power 100 jazz musicians. Before we continue, let me just give you a bit of, how do they say, housekeeping? I know that some people are trying to get into the studio, but now we are full. So for those of you who are not able to get in, please visit our page that is on Facebook or LinkedIn. And if you have neither of those, by all means, go to the New York Carib News website at www.nycaribnews.com, and you'd be able to see live from there. I'm so happy that so many people are excited about this evening's event. So welcome to Virtual Vibes, Power 100. At this time, I would like to say thank you to our sponsor, our presenting sponsor, Spectrum. And I would like to introduce the publisher and president of Carib News, Mr. Carl and Mrs. Faye Rodney.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the New York News Caribbean American Power 100 as we celebrate Caribbean American Heritage Month of June this year.
Good evening. Through the years, Caribbean Americans have played a significant role in the United States with a telling impact and tremendous importance. Carib News for the past 38 years have chronicled these stories and have told the partnership for progress and power as Caribbean Americans contribute to this partnership.
This partnership includes Shirley Chisholm, Cicely Tyson, Maya Angelou, Susan Taylor, Senator Kamala Harris, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, Shirley Ralph, Brianna, Pat Chin, and that's just to name a few.
And of course, there's Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Harry BELAFONTE, RODNEYSE, James Baldwin, Colin Powell, Paul Hasty, David Patterson, again, just to name a few.
There's need to celebrate, to be inspired, and to be entertained. We work hard, we achieve, and we want to share our culture, our rich culture with the world. And here's our opportunity to do that.
This evening promises to be one to remember, then to be proud of, and to be inspired by. As we present Caribbean American Power 100 2020, a group of amazing individuals who have made tremendous contribution to communities, to countries, yes, and indeed to the world. Enjoy and be inspired.
Enjoy, enjoy.
Thank you. That was Mrs. Faye, Mr. Carl, Mrs. Faye Rodney, president, publisher and president of New York Carib News, giving us a feedback on some of famous Caribbean Americans. Some people don't even know are Caribbean Americans, right? So just let's take a look at what happened last year at the celebration of the Power 100 virtual vibes. Throwback.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Tennessee Moët. Aren't they wonderful? Yeah. They've been just wonderful to work with. For us, the Caribbean American heritage is not just a recognition, it's a mission. It's a mission as though people can contribute and can be what we would like to call a partner in progress. We are not here simply because of ourselves, but we are here to contribute and to make this progress in the United States more perfect. Understand this, we are here because we see the value of working together, of making a mark in this city. When we talk about Caribbean heritage, we're talking about our involvement, our engagement in the partnership for progress. And that's why it is so important for us to use this recognition to show the value of Caribbean American, and also to stake our place in terms of what we can and what we plan to do. For Caribbeans, we were engaged with a number of individuals around to make this a reality. It was in St. Martin when 12 members of Congress who finally signed on the concept of the Caribbean Heritage Month, and then took off from there. So we feel special to celebrate that, and be special to celebrate with our folks here at more intensity. So again, let's say thank you, many thanks to you, thanks for having us.
Okay, guys. That was a clip of you of last year. Now, I have to say something that's interesting because, you know, necessity is the mother of invention, and we are all now entering this new virtual world. Okay, so let's enjoy this together. So as we move into the program, we have our first guest that's welcoming, our first welcoming message from U.S. Senator Charles Ellis, better known as Chuck Schumer, who has dedicated his career to being a tireless fighter for New York. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, where his dad owned a small exterminating business and his mom was a housewife. He attended public school and graduated from James Madison High School before heading to Harvard University and then Harvard Law School. As a senator, he visits all 62 counties every year and has delivered countless large and small victories across the state, including delivering $20 billion to rebuild after the 9/11 terror attacks and passing a $63 billion relief package to help New York recover from Superstorm Sandy. From massive snowstorms in Western New York to numerous floods across upstate, Senator Schumer has been there to deliver aid and support to New Yorkers in their time of need. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Charles Schumer.
Hi, everyone. This is Senator Chuck Schumer, and I'm sorry we can't be together in celebration this year, but even so, I want to wish everyone a happy Caribbean American Heritage Month. And I want to commend Carib News for putting together this year's Hour 100, a list of New York's outstanding ambassadors of Caribbean American culture. I'm so proud of the Caribbean culture here in New York, and particularly in my home borough of Brooklyn. And I always tell people that the biggest island in the Caribbean is Brooklyn. Even though it's been hard over these past few months, I'm heartened to know we can still find ways to come together and celebrate the great heritage of Caribbean Americans. Celebrate the past and celebrate Caribbean Americans' mark on New York. Whether we're dancing to the sounds of reggae, soca, and calypso, the West Indian Day Parade, or enjoying a beef patty on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, or reading the works of authors like Colin Channer, New York is New York because of the strong, wonderful Caribbean influence. And America is America because of our diversity. As I record this today, the Supreme Court just handed its decision down upholding the document. I cried tears of joy, literally, at the decision, because it's a reminder that in this country we all need each other to succeed. We are blessed by the contributions of so many people in so many parts of the world. So I promise that even though we can't be together in person, I will fight for you each and every day in Congress to make sure you have the help you need to get through these next few difficult months. Together, I'm confident we'll beat this disease and celebrate in person sometime soon. So to everyone, happy Caribbean Heritage Month. I hope you're all well, And until we see each other again, stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you, Senator Chuck Schumer. Thank you so much. And yes, these are very interesting times. We have to stay safe, we have to stay healthy, and we see what the senator is doing. We can see. So thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our first group of Power 100 recipients, beginning with Monty Alexander, who I know we've seen, but I guess Dr. Ainsworth Allen. So please, let's meet our first 25 recipients of the Carib News Power 100. Well, Dr. Ainsworth Allen, Mr. Monty Alexander, both of Jamaica, Sylvia P. Henry Ashley of Jamaica, Lloyd Brown, Jamaica, Harry Belafonte, Jamaica, Bryan Benjamin, Guyana, Jamaica, Dr. A.R. Bernard, Panama, RODNEYSE Bichot, Haiti, Greg Bishop, Grenada, Michael Blake, Jamaica. Oh, Basil Bryan, Jamaica. Richard Drury, Panama. Ursula Burns, Panama. Gerard Cadet, Haiti. Anne-Marie Campbell, Jamaica. Louise Carroll, St. Lucia. Sandra Chapman, Guyana. Carmen Charles, Guyana. Kay Foster Cheek, Barbados. Patricia Chin, Jamaica. Bernice Clarke, St. Kitts Nevis. Yvette Clarke, Jamaica. Dr. Una Clarke, Jamaica. Ms. Nina Compton, St. Lucia. I didn't call, whose name didn't I call? Quentin Brathwaite, right? And I wasn't able to give you all the background, but welcome. And you're hearing in the background the sounds of Richie Spice coming up to entertain you. Richie Spice, also Rastafarian of Jamaica. Oh, we have Monty. Okay.
Born in Kingston, Jamaica in the year 1944. Came to America in 1962, and I have enjoyed a life of musical artistry all through these years. And the whole time, I've been proud to share my heritage of a person from Jamaica, my beloved home country. I guess I'm a Jamaican, right? So I'm here and delighted to be a part of this honorable dissertation, to be looked upon as a Jamaican that has done well, and I have done well. And I thank the Creator for that gift.
Is he gonna play?
Hi, I'm Assembly Member RODNEYSE Bichot, representing the 42nd Assembly District in Brooklyn, covering the Flatbush part of Brooklyn, the heart of the Caribbean, where Little Haiti resides. I am the newly elected Brooklyn Democratic Party Chair, first woman, first Black woman, and first Haitian American. I would like to thank the Carib News Editorial Board for highlighting the accomplishments of the Caribbean American community. Thank you for selecting me as one of the Power 100 nominees. My Caribbean heritage is a fundamental part of my identity. Growing up in Brooklyn, my parents taught me the value of school, church, and home. L'école, l'église, la caille. Education is important to Caribbean Americans. In fact, my parents inspired me to complete my education so that I can have options. And boy, I was many things, like math public school teacher, electrical engineer, a Wall Street investment banker, and an entrepreneur, and now a legislator. In the Caribbean community, I represent the largest concentration of Haitians with over 100,000 Haitian Americans in my district. I had worked hard to help establish the Haitian Studies Institute at Brooklyn College. With Councilmember Farrah Lewis, we introduced legislation that would designate Little Haiti BK as an official cultural and business district. That legislation was passed, and today Little Haiti is a living representation of the community. We have renamed 2 major streetways, Jean-Jacques Dessalines Boulevard and rededicating the renaming of Toussaint Louverture Boulevard, providing an ongoing lesson about our history to residents and visitors of the district. Hundreds of thousands of Caribbean Americans come to this area to worship, purchase goods and services, and enjoy others' company. We are seeing progress. Since I took office, Caribbean Americans, including Haitian Americans, have joined ranks in our state, in our city government. We are working to bring more funding to our district of Caribbean Americans to help these constituents navigate immigration concerns and to provide more services. We have pushed for passing the DREAM Act, passing the Green Bill, where immigrants have driver's license, and providing funds for the undocumented workers, and so many more. My parents told me in Creole to learn how to use all my fingers, which meant that I needed to learn how to have many skills. This year, we were met with many challenges, with the coronavirus, which hit our community hardest, and then the murder of George Floyd, and the aftermath, including the long fight for police reform. I have to use all my skills to meet these challenges day to day. I encourage all of you to do the same and to learn new skills, implement them, and remain flexible. Our ancestors taught us the importance of resilience, and we must use those lessons imparted upon us for the betterment of our Caribbean American community. Thank you, Caribbean News, and let's continue to rise as one people. Thank you. This is Assemblymember RODNEYSE Bichot.
Hello and greetings. This is Pat Chin from VP Records. I want to congratulate the RODNEYSE from Carib News in bringing you live streaming of their Caribbean American Power 100. This is a year for the history book, but with their determination, their passion, collaboration, they have put this live streaming together to embrace and to acknowledge their Power 100 people. We have a beautiful lineup for you with live entertainment with Sparrow, Monty Alexander, Kyle Graham, and many others. Enjoy, God's blessing, and be safe.
Thank you. Thank you. So you've received some messages, and quite on time, from Assemblywoman RODNEYSE Bichot, from Mrs. Chin, and of course from Monty Alexander, whom we heard opening the entire program. As we go into segment 2, I just want to say thank you again to our sponsor for this evening's, our presenting sponsor for this evening's event, Spectrum. And let me just give you a little bit. Spectrum, also known as Charter Communications, is America's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice company. They're committed to integrating the highest quality service with superior entertainment and communications products. Charter is at the intersection of technology and entertainment, facilitating essential communications that connect more than 28 million residential and business customers in 41 states. Their commitment to serving customers and exceeding their expectations is the bedrock of Charter's business strategy and is the philosophy that guides their 98,000 employees. Their quote According to Tom Rutledge, the president and CEO, we at the core are a service organization, and every product we sell has a huge service component. Thank you, Spectrum. And I'll take you straight over to, well, to tell you who's coming up first before you get this bit of entertainment. We have U.S. Representative Adriano Espailla and Calypso Rose. So before you see them, though, in segment 2, let's go to Richie Spice from Jamaica to give us some live entertainment. Richie Spice, y'all. And live, don't you wish that you were in that warmth, in that waterfall, in that sunshine, enjoying life? Well, as much as we can. I mean, we have, as Caribbean people, I think we take warmth and sunshine. As African people, we take warmth and sunshine everywhere we go. This I know for a fact. Okay, so as Afro-Caribbeans, as Caribbean Americans, we have it with us. Welcome, welcome back. And here we are at segment 2. Let me tell you, for those of you who are trying to log on, please don't use the link anymore. Tell your friends to go on through Facebook or go on through the website at www.nycaribnews.com or Facebook or LinkedIn, because the studio is full. Okay? Lovely. Now, this segment is being brought to you by VP Records. VP Records was a label founded by the late Vincent Randy Chin and his wife, Patricia Chin, who owned the Randy's record store in Kingston, Jamaica, as well as the Studio 17 recording studios. Now, this was founded, VP Records was founded in 1979. Okay, in the mid-70s, the Chins moved to New York City, setting up a record store in Brooklyn called VP Records in 1975, and from which they sold and distributed records. In 79, they relocated the store to Jamaica, Queens, and the label established itself as one of the first and largest independent record labels for reggae and dancehall. So, thank you, VP Records. And let me invite a message from U.S. Representative Adriano Espailla.
This is Congressman Adriano Espailla, and I represent the 13th Congressional District in New York State. That district has many members from the Caribbean community. It has people from all the islands of the Caribbean. As you all know, the Caribbean is our third border, and it has enriched New York City and New York State in many, many ways. So I want to thank and congratulate Carib News for their outstanding work in making sure that they captured the news, not just across the city of New York, not just across the state of New York, but very specifically, they captured the positive contributions made by Caribbean people in New York City and New York State. You highlight those professionals, those New Yorkers of Caribbean descent that contribute to the well-being and the future of our great city. So congratulations to the Carib News in this Caribbean Heritage Month. It is a very special moment for me, as I am from the Caribbean, from the Dominican Republic, and I cherish and value our roots as people from the third border, from the Caribbean Basin, where we bring tremendous positives to New York City and New York State and all the families across this great city and state. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Congressman. And guys, remember, the Caribbean is made up of not just the English-speaking Caribbean. It's the French, the Spanish, the Dutch, and the English. Okay? So keep that in mind. There are about 33 or 35 Caribbean countries. It's not just Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. And did you know that both Haiti and the Dominican Republic are two countries on one piece of land called Hispaniola. Did you know that? Now you know. So it's French and Spanish. Okay, so we've got to learn as we entertain, educate and entertain. How's that? Now let's see. I believe that we have, do we have another message? Not yet. Okay, okay. Well then, let's introduce or let's meet the second group of Power 100 recipients, beginning with Jamaica is very prolific. I'm so glad that I was made an honorary Jamaican because I'm very proud of you guys. I am. I'm proud of all of us Caribbean Americans that have contributed so much to these United States of America. As we continue, let's see, who shall we have? We have a message from Speaker Carl Heastie, who is the 100th Speaker of the New York State Assembly. Coming up.
Hi, I'm Carl Heastie, Speaker of the New York State Assembly. It is a huge honor to be selected as one of the Caribbean American Power 100 for 2020 by the Carib News. As someone of proud Bahamian descent, my Caribbean heritage has played an important role in my life and career. The Caribbean community in New York is vast and varied, but we all come together to fight for what's right. Throughout my tenure in the Assembly, the outcry of support and advocacy from Caribbeans, both in my own Assembly district and across the state, has been unparalleled, whether it's providing aid to Caribbean nations racked by natural disasters or advocating for legislation to improve the lives of all New Yorkers. After recent events across the country, the Caribbean community rallied together in support of the historic law enforcement reforms passed by the legislature early this month. This is just one example of the dedication to bettering our society that is a hallmark of Caribbean people. I am proud to count myself among you. Working with the Caribbean organizations over the years has been a highlight of my career in public service. I look forward to continuing this important work as we all stand together. Thank you again for this great honor.
Hi, this is George Hulse of Belize, saying to the Power 100, congratulations, and to the thousands of other Caribbean power players who are very important. Important in your family, important in your neighborhood, important in your jobs, important to each and every one of us. Congratulations. When I think of Caribbean heritage, I think of 1804 and the Great Haitian Revolution, Haiti's independence. I think of Marcus Garvey, the great businessman, entrepreneur, political leader, visionary, Marcus Garvey. When I think of modern people, I love Susan Taylor, and I'd love to read her column in Essence magazine. Earl Graves, who made us realize we could be good black businessmen. David Patterson, the governor of New York State, and Carl and Faye Rodney, I can't thank you enough for all you've done for us. To everyone, on behalf of George Hulse, congratulations and happy Caribbean Heritage Month.
Thank you for naming me to the scroll of the Caribbean American Power 100 for 2020. I want to heartily thank the Rodney family for their leadership in the Jamaican American community and for their support for Caribbean people everywhere. My parents were both very proud of Jamaica and raised my brothers and me to be very proud of our Jamaican heritage. We grew up in Harlem. I recall when I was about 9 years old, my father took me to meetings of the Jamaica Benevolent Association, where I met many other proud Jamaicans. I'll never forget one particular meeting where I met the Venerable Harry Belafonte, a globally recognized warrior for freedom to this very day. I accept this honor with humility and pride, and as a woman who holds dual citizenship with Jamaica, which is an aspiration of the children and grandchildren of my dear Jamaican parents. Jamaica, land we love. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for those messages. Thank you, Ms. Madison. Jamaica, land we love. And I would like to introduce Ms. Marcia Keys, the 6th president of York College in Jamaica, Queens, who will bring us a live message. Ms. Keys.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. First of all, congratulations to the honorees tonight who are on the Power Roll for 2020. Thank you to the dynamic duo, Carl and Faye Rodney, and their team for developing this event and continuing it over these many years in celebration of the Caribbean American Heritage Month. And we do this at a time when there are so many important movements going on, and also at a time of great loss. But move we must. I am Marcia Keys, as you've heard, and I'm a proud African-American woman of Jamaican heritage. I thank my parents, Eileen and Reginald Keys, my elementary school teachers, my high school teachers, my extended family in Kingston, in Troy, and in Albertown, who instilled in me the importance of values of integrity, of hard work, and of tenacity and commitment to community. These values have been the cornerstone of my life from Kingston, Jamaica, to Winnipeg, Canada, and here in New York, where it has helped me to forge a successful professional and personal life right here in New York City. And so I say to the next gens, the next generation, and you've seen them in action in recent times, those who have been on the streets, those who are in the political scene, those who are in education in the corporate world, and those near and far, those in my family, I say to you, keep your eyes on the prize. Follow your passion. Pursue your path in your way, in your time. There is no one path to success. There is no one path to make a difference in the world. To my fellow Power 100 honorees, congratulations. I'm proud to be a part, to be in your company. Thank you so much.
I just have to give a big shout out to the yeoman work being done by behind the scenes producers, Ms. Carlisa Rodney and Ms. Melanie Paintner. Okay, thank you so much, because we are doing this. What did they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. This pandemic has caused us all to go beyond our comfort zone and learn new things if we want to remain relevant in this world today. I just have to give a big shout out to the yeoman work being done by our behind the scenes producers, Ms. Carlisa Rodney and Ms. Melanie Paintner. Okay, thank you so much, because we are doing this. What did they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. This pandemic has caused us all to go beyond our comfort zone and learn new things if we want to remain relevant in this world today, right? And in speaking about remaining relevant, no matter what age you are, let me tell you about our next presenter or recipient. She was born Linda MacArthur Monica Sandy Lewis. She grew up in a small village on the island of Tobago, one of the 2 Caribbean islands forming the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Birthplace of calypso, steel pan, soca, limbo, one of the most popular styles of music in the world. In 1964, she decided to dedicate her life to a career in music. Though originally known as Crusoe Kid, she was given the name Calypso Rose by Calypsonian Mighty Spoiler and fellow Carnival tent members. 1978 marked the year the Trinidad Road March competition's title was changed to Calypso Monarch in her honor. Ladies and gentlemen, a message from Calypso Rose.
As you know the history of Tobago with Crusoe Kid, and you know, as I am from Tobago, and I'm a kid, age 13. So, sorry, I start writing at age 15, enter the 10th at age. I start writing at age 13, enter the 10th at age 15. And when they ask me what's my sobriquet, I say Crusoe Kid. And then they say, no, we are going to change your name from Crusoe Kid to Calypso Rose, because Rose is the mother of all flowers. And I am here today still blooming, flowering. Now I will like all the other artists who want to come into the whatever field that they like to do. You must be like a plant. When you plant a plant in the ground, you must give the plant water. I knew what I wanted to be in life in the field of my music, my compositions, and the music of the African domain. Ping bang 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 ping ting bang 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 ping 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 ting, and that drums and that fiddle and that bass. Oh my God, send me crazy. So I start planting water in my tree. My tree is my body, is my thought. And you plant the water, it will grow. Because I wanted to export my music internationally. 1977, I wrote a calypso, I Thank Thee, because I knew what I wanted to do. I want to take my music all over the world, and thank God I did. Thank God that I planted the tree and I gave the tree water. In my mind, you must use your mind. Your mind is your tree, is your body and the trunk of your body, but your mind is the tree. And there is where I am today. I received the France Grammy, the only Caribbean artist that ever received the French Grammy. And my music, Leave Me Alone, has not become. Leave Me Alone has not become platinum, ping bang 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 platinum. So you see, I have planted the tree in my thoughts, my body, and I'm still blossoming. I'm still growing. I'm still bringing joy, love, harmony to people all over the world. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
So, is there any obstacles that got in your way? No, it's not there, but any obstacle that you could mention that could help someone that you encountered that
when I started singing Calypso in the Calypso time, I met with a lot of organizations, especially from the church, a lot of female groups. They've been calling me in every week. I have to go to a meeting. Why are you singing Calypso? Why? Calypso do not belong to a woman. And then my father, who was a spiritual Baptist minister, told me Calypso belonged to the devil, because anything that comes out of Africa in those days was from the devil domain. But no, I am an African. The slave Sandy that burned down the Governor General House in Tobago to free the slaves is a Sandy, and I am a Sandy, that one of my ancestors. So don't let nobody stop you from growing the tree you want to grow. I get up and I tell them, thank thee, and I walk away. And look where I am today. Look where I am today. Persistence brings prosperity. Thank you. Mucho gracias, merci beaucoup, danko wel taksameka. Shukran.
Wow. That was empowering right there. I am an African. And what Calypso Rose just said was so inspiring from the perspective of us accepting who we are so that we can move forward, know thyself. And to show that the queen still's got it going on, we have a new song from her. She has new music, and it's called The Same Boat. Now, this new Calypso Rose album is expected. It was expected this year, but it will be released in 2021. In these dark times, Calypso Rose offers us today a bright remix of Same Boat, featuring Patrice and COMPTON by Guts and Izem. Through this title, Calypso Rose and Patrice, the king of the swaggy, evoke their common roots. In the same boat, pushed by the same wind. Indeed, Calypso Rose refers here to her own story. Her grandmother, born in Equatorial Guinea, having been kidnapped and then taken to Tobago as a slave. We could also find chorus and composition by Drew Gonzalez of COMPTON, and he's the one behind the successes of Calypso Queen and Abatina. So this Same Boat is going to close out segment 2, and then we come back with the third group of recipients. Same Boat. Beautiful graphics, The Same Boat. And I needed to say thank you to VP Records for sponsoring the last segment. Okay, are you ready for some more? Let me tell you, we have some interesting entertainment coming up. So you just heard from Calypso Rose on The Same Boat. You're gonna hear from the Mighty Sparrow a little bit later, right? And we're gonna have more messages from, excuse me, from Judge Sylvia Hines Radix. That's coming up in this segment. This segment is sponsored by Tower Isles. So let me tell you about Tower Isles. Let me share with you too that I have everything neatly organized, right? You know how you do that? You have everything neatly organized, and then you put one thing in one place, and then all of a sudden you can't figure out. Well, that's part of doing something new. Hello. But you get with it. So let me tell you about Tower Isles. Tower Isles was founded by Beryl and Earl Levi in 1968 as a small family bakery in Crown Heights. Tower Isles is now one of the largest patty-making companies in the world. In order to avoid confusion with the traditional American patties, we coined the term Jamaican-style patties in 1969. A Jamaican-style patty is made with beef or chicken filling and a flaky pastry crust. Our original Jamaican style patties are made with only the finest grade A USDA beef, chunky white chicken breast, and freshly picked island spices. Tower Isle's commitment to producing the absolute best quality of Jamaican style patties is what sets us apart from the rest. Thank you, Tower Isles, for sponsoring segment 3 of New York Carib News Power 100. Welcome to the virtual vibes. Now, before we continue, let me introduce you to Judge Sylvia Hines Radix. She was born in Barbados, was the first administrative judge in the Kings County Supreme Court of Caribbean descent, and the first Caribbean-born judge in the New York Appellate Division. She's a graduate from Howard University. In 2019, she was awarded the 14th Annual Diversity Trailblazer Award from the New York State Bar Association's Committee on Diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Sylvia Hines Radix.
My name is Sylvia Hines Radix, and I was born on the island of Barbados. It was always instilled in me from birth, a deep-rooted sense of who I was and from whence I came. And I was taught that I came from a strong, resilient lineage and that I could accomplish any goal I set for myself. In fact, I always tell everyone that my career path began and developed on my mother's knee. When I was about 8 years old, I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. Daily, I would sit on my mother's knee and listen to a radio show named Portia Faces Life. That show had a female lawyer who was unbeatable. Consequently, with the encouragement of my parents and my siblings, I set out on the journey to accomplish this goal. Growing up in the Caribbean, I acquired a strong foundation, which taught me the meaning of hard work and belief in myself, which provided me with the ability to navigate through life and to maintain a strong moral compass. Without a doubt, the biggest influences in my life were my parents, who stressed the importance of education and the need to treat everyone as I want to be treated. Indeed, I always remember my father's words, as he would constantly say to me, "Treat the garbage man the way you treat the king." I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Carib News, Faye and Carl Rodney, for selecting me for this auspicious award. I want to congratulate my fellow honorees and to say how proud I am and how humbled I am to be honored with this great group of Caribbeans.
Thank you, Judge Hines Radix. And she mentioned, you mentioned Portia Faces Life. My mouth is tied all of a sudden. I used to listen to that on the radio, Portia Faces Life, with Dr. Paul. Am I aging myself? Oh well. So thank you. Welcome back again. Let's meet the next group of Power 100 recipients, the next 25. Sheila Jackson Lee, Jamaica. Rodney Leon, Haiti. Dr. Lorna Lewis, Jamaica. Paula Madison, Jamaica. Dr. Thomas L. Matthew, St. Kitts Nevis. CHIRLANE MCCRAY, Barbados, St. Lucia. SHELDON McLeod, Trinidad and Tobago. Marie McKenzie, Jamaica. Dr. Sidney McPhee, the Bahamas. Linda McPherson, Guyana. Steve McQueen, Trinidad and Tobago. Guilford Monrose, USVI St. Croix. Mark Morale, Haiti. Wes Moore, Jamaica. Dr. Claire Nelson, Jamaica. David Patterson, Jamaica St. Kitts. Nick Perry, Jamaica. Roxanne Prasad, Jamaica. I'm sorry, Guyana. Melissa Proctor, Jamaica. Sidney Poitier, the Bahamas. Earl Phillips, Barbados. Errol Peer, Haiti. Colin Powell, Jamaica. Suzanne Rice, the Bahamas. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Jamaica. So we've met 75 of our 100. We've met 75 of our Power 100, and all powerful in their own right. We saw our First Lady, New York's First Lady, Miss Shirlane, First Lady Shirlane McCray, and Assemblyman Nick Perry. As a matter of fact, we have some words coming up from Errol Peer and Nick Perry, who New York State Assemblyman, as well as Cheryl Lee Ralph, actress.
Good evening. Just in case you don't recognize me because I'm not wearing my black beret and cape, I'm Assemblyman Nick Perry, and it's my pleasure to zoom into this evening's event. It is always a great honor to be recognized by the Carib News, which is a very reputable and reliable source of information serving the Caribbean American community here in the New York City area. The Carib News has always encouraged our community to unshackle our minds from mental slavery by seeking as much information as we can, not only about our present situation, but also about our history and great heritage. That we have wisely accepted as always prudent advice. And I urge this audience and all those being recognized with me this evening, that in whatever capacity we try to serve our community, we do so with a mind and consciousness filled with real knowledge about what we have been, who we are, and the great people we endeavor to be. On behalf of all the people I serve in the 58th Assembly District, I express my gratitude to Carib News and say, keep up the good work. Thank you.
Bonsoir, bonsoir. My name is Errol Pierre, Senior Vice President of State Programs and Health First, and my Caribbean heritage means everything to me. As a child growing up, I saw my father work so hard. He was an immigrant that came to the United States from Haiti in the 1970s, and he started his own business, and his dedication and his passion was relentless. And I saw him, and he did all that to have a roof over my head and to make sure I had a great education. And that's where I learned my work ethic. And then when I went to visit Haiti and see the town where he grew up in Gonaïves, I was able to connect the dots and see how important integrity is and how important being a gentleman and listening to your elders is. And I learned all that from his values and his virtues. And so I thank my father and I thank Caribbean News for this wonderful honor. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's Cheryl Lee Ralph. And thank you all so much for thinking about me this Caribbean Heritage Awareness Month, the month of June. You know, I'm often asked, what difference did your Caribbean heritage make for you in your life? Well, I'm going to tell you, it made all the difference. Of course, my Caribbean heritage, my roots are in Jamaica. Through my mother, Miss Ivy Ralph, OD, Order of Distinction, daughter of the soil of Chantilly in the hills above Mandeville, Manchester. The things my mother instilled in me through her love of Jamaica. You know, going to school in the States, I remember that there were always those people that wanted to tell you what you couldn't do. And well, I already knew that a black man could be president or prime minister, run a country, because I'd already seen it done. I already knew that women deserved equal pay, equal rights, because I'd already seen it done. In fact, I'd already seen the picture of a woman on currency. One of the few places in the world that has a woman on their money. Yeah. See, I already knew that there was greatness to be achieved. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a brain surgeon, be whatever you like, man, woman, whatever. Okay, think twice about whether you want to be an actress, but that's a whole nother story. For the most part, it made me, in a way, bold. In a way, it made me fearless. It made me know that no for somebody didn't have to be no for me, because I already knew that there were so many yeses out there to hear. There were so many things to be achieved, because I knew I could, because I had already seen it done. So that's the difference it made for me. And yes, I am very proud to be Jamaican, Caribbean, West Indian, whatever you want to call it. I'm not ashamed of that at all. That's the gift that God gave me through my mother, her mother before her, and the one that came from Africa. So I thank you, and let me leave you with this one thing. Of course, walk good. Always walk good. But good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better, best. I'm Cheryl Lee Ralph. Celebrate Caribbean heritage.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Good, better, best. You heard from Ms. Shirley Ralph, Assemblyman Nick Perry, and Mr. Errol Pear, President of Health First Insurance Company. And as we close out segment 3, we say thank you again to Tower Isles. And I tell you what's coming up. You're going to have a reading by yours truly. I have 2 selections for you as part of your entertainment. Before you get the next 25 power of the Power 100, or, well, I don't want to say the last 25, the next 25. You've met 75. You're going to get the next 25. And the finale with our surprise, the mighty sparrow, the Calypso king of the world. And of course, I knew all the words, right? Children go to school and learn. Yes. Well, you can bring it back so we can have the whole song if you want to. I'm sure people don't want to hear me sing, right? I don't want Sparrow birdie comes sitting on my windowsill. That was the mighty sparrow giving us a taste of education. Welcome back to segment 4. This is our final segment for the evening. And we are sponsored by Best Deal Car Service. Now, when I got this information, I said, should I talk about Best Deal in the colloquial, or should I, just, and they said, well, what do you think? So I said, well, let me tell them. All your Best Deal Car Service is a certified minority business enterprise with the city of New York. And it has served the Northeast Bronx community for over 20 years from its primary location at 757A Burke Avenue. Best Deal's mission remains to provide our customers with the finest and safest transportation service available. The entire Best Deal team strive each and every day to exceed the expectations of their customer base as well as the community they serve. So let me tell all you, you're looking for a car service? Best Deal Car Service for you. Thank you, Best Deal. Okay, so that just opens me up to a reading. First, because of education, I am going to read a short poem called Remember When by Rodney Foster. Okay, it's called Good Parenting. It had no substitute for good parenting. In my boyhood days, we had several parents. First, you had your real parents, your mother and father, and then a ton load of family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, godparents, and cousins. In addition to your teachers and any adults. Any of those people could have teach you the straight and narrow path, which sometimes meant cutting your tail. Today, when I hear them talk about corporal punishment in the schools and children's rights, I just want to laugh. My mother and some of them teachers would have surely make a jail if them laws was in existence then. Rampy must be the stern in the grave when you hear them talking about children pushing drugs in school and bringing guns to class. Two man rat can't live in the same hole, you know. In Rampy school, it had only one man rat. That was Evans T. Rampersad. He was a model head teacher, loved, feared, and respected. I remember one day Rampy spot a fella moving after the second whistle blow. Now in Barataria, EC, that was a cardinal sin. The rule was, once you hear that second blast, you had to freeze. Stop whatever you're doing and wait for the third whistle to run and line up. If you're up in the air, stay there like Michael Jordan. When school called, Rampy called the boy up on the stage, ring the silence bell, and start to give the boy a speech, a long speech about obeying rules and regulations and the consequences of disobeying. That was one thing with them longtime parents and teachers in the past. They love to speechify like a midnight robber before they bust slash in your tail. Sometimes the lecture was more painful and embarrassing than the blows itself. You used to feel like saying, all right, Rampy, cut out the set of talk and give me the 2 lash now. But you didn't know better. Except my cousin Cowie. One day, Rampy was going to beat him. In front of the whole school, Rampy, pointing the rod at Cowie, say, children, there is a fool at the end of this cane. Cowie with his smart self asks him, which end, sir? So many teachers and big students start to giggle. Rampy get vexed and he get Cowie 4 good lash on the bamsi. Cowie start to break dance one time. Yes, man. Rapping and all them kind of new dance, they really new, no? All them teachers and parents from long ago used to rap too bad. You remember your mother saying, this is going to hurt me more than it hurt you. How many times I have to tell you not to do that, eh? Like broomstick breaking your ears or what? Well, if you can't hear, you go feel. Whap, whap. Oh, God, mommy, I ain't gonna do it again. Whap, whap. All this time you're dancing too bad. Breaks in the blows and begging pardon. Boy, them days was something else. Longtime parents didn't spare the rod and spoil the child. No way. You think it's the Surgeon General warning that prevented me from smoking today? Nah, man. That's too abstract. I remember the time when I picked up my grandfather's cigarette butt in the yard and I went in the latrine. If you see me puffing away like a star boy I see in one of them 12:30 movie. I was trying to make a smoke ring when suddenly the door fly open. I throw the butt in the latrine pit as my grandmother register a lash on my back. I dash out the outhouse with grandma in hot pursuit. pelting belt that was whistling past my ears, like how the motor car does speed past one another on the highway. Whoosh, whoosh. And she's speechifying too. You're playing chimney? Take that. Go inside and take up a book. And don't come outside until I say so. That is a more tangible message to me than some fine print saying, cigarette smoking may be dangerous to your health. It's them kind of parents the world need today in the fight against the evil vices. Strong parents, loving parents, parents who are afraid their own children, parents like the ones Bill Cosby described in one of his comedy routines, parents who say, I brought you into this world and I ain't afraid to take you out. Yes, man. Longtime parents communicated that message loud and clear. My generation received it without interference or static. Roger, 10-4. So, I love that piece. Quite appropriate. Good parenting from Rodney Foster's book, Remember When? Poems and Short Stories. Rodney is a Caribbean American. He's from Trinidad and Tobago, whom I met in Georgia. Our next piece, let me see if sorry, okay. Our next piece is, it's called Africa's Struggle. It's another male author. This is the piece that I'm reading these days. His name is Carl A. Mitchell, and he is from Jamaica. And I thought I would pull a piece from his chapter, his second chapter, where we meet Africa, the story, or I should say the youth. And this is not the second, it's the first chapter, I apologize. The youth of whom the story is about. Africa is a young man from Africa, and he is being taken away. On the eve of the fourth moon, Orego and her allies had a great feast. They performed rituals and danced the sacred war. Danced the sacred war dance. Only men were allowed to perform and to attend the sacred dance. The children and women stayed in their huts. After the sacred occasion, most of the men were drunk and filled. The sentries were not accustomed to having a constant watch. They fell asleep at their posts. Culturally, the Negonians were aware of the lack of vigilance of their enemy. Ruthlessly, they set their operation in motion. Now it started to happen. The Negonians carried out their surprise attack on our village. I heard the screaming and wailing of the women and the children, as well as the crackling sounds of the huts as the fire hungrily consumed them. I heard the war cries of the Negonians and the distressed cries of my people. Furthermore, I heard sounds likened unto thunder while I saw flashes of lightning against the fabric of the nocturnal sky. I started to cry and ran into my mother's arms for refuge. The kraals were in turmoil. A tall Negonian warrior burst through the curtain at the door and held on to my mama. I hollered, kicked, and bit the man to let my mama go. In retaliation, he swung his arm toward my head. On the next moon, I found myself chained by my neck, ankles, and wrists to a group of children. I felt a clot of blood in my head and a terrible headache. Next, I looked around, mostly with the intention of finding my mama. She was nowhere to be found. There were young men, women, and children in chains and fetters, the spoils of war. For the first time, I saw the strange beings accompanied by Negonian warriors. The colors of their skin contrasted with one another against the rising sun as the morning fog turned into a drizzle, as if the gods and the ancestors were weeping. Once again, I turned to look for Mama, but I only saw in the distance the swirling gray smoke of the massacre of the kraals of our tribe as the Necjonians and the strange beings led us to an unknown destination. Africa's struggle, his experiential journey, coming to the Americas. So that's my readings for today. Hope you enjoyed them. Leading us right into this times, 2020. Okay, so thank you, Best Deal. Let's announce our fourth group of Power 100 recipients. And then we'll have messages from Trevor Smith of Tower Isles and Lloyd Williams of the Harlem Chamber of Commerce. And we have a special guest. I'll let you know if she's live, so I wouldn't say her name yet. So let's meet our 25 recipients. Sylvia Hines Radix, Barbados. Joyanne Reed, Congo, Guyana. Sandra Richards, Jamaica. Rihanna, Barbados. Robin Roach, Al Roca, the Bahamas. Claudia Schrader, St. Croix, USV. Yvette Noel Schur, Grenada. Mitchell J. Silva, Haiti. The Mighty Sparrow, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. Judge Jules Scott, Jamaica. Trevor Smith, Jamaica. Susan Taylor, St. Kitts Nevis. Yvonne Tepe Ripley, Jamaica. Franklin Thomas, Barbados. William Thompson, Barbados, St. Kitts. Cicely Tyson, St. Kitts Nevis. Marta Vega, Puerto Rico. Michael Warren Jr., Barbados. Kerry Washington, Jamaica. Dr. David Williams, St. Lucia. Jumani D. Williams, Grenada. Lloyd Williams, Jamaica. Maxine Williams, Trinidad and Tobago. And Dr. Basil Wilson, Jamaica.
Hello, my name is Trevor Smith, and I'm the president of Tower Frozen Foods, the first and the original Jamaican-style manufacturing company in New York. We celebrated 50 years last year, 2019, and we hope that we can continue the tradition of service to our community that we have been doing for the last 50 years. So I'd like to thank you for your support. Thank you for so many organizations and business who have spread the word about the product, the comfort food as we call it, that is now produced across the globe by various companies similar to ours. I like to take credit for saying that being original puts a pressure on us to stay ahead of those who come behind us, to lead, not to manage, to encourage, not to discourage. So I thank you so much for your support.
My name is Lloyd Williams. I'm a very, very proud Jamaican. I serve as the president of the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce and the chairman of Harlem Week. During these most difficult, challenging, and historic times, I'm very pleased to be actively involved in addressing the changes that are needed in America and the changes that are needed worldwide. I serve as a member of the editorial board of New York Carib News. My wife, Valerie, and I have been friends and supporters of Carl and Faye Rodney for decades and intend to continue to be their supporters for years to come. And very truly, Black Lives Matter.
And I met Trevor Smith in Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta, and what an awesome group of people. We have Caribbean Americans all over the place. I met Trevor there. And now I understand that he's in New York as well. So, hey, thank you so much. Let's have some entertainment from Janine Ma'at. Janine with a special message, Ma'at. We are strong. We are mighty. Thank you. And I thank our sponsor, Best Deal Car Service. As we move into the final segment of the evening, we're sponsored by Iberia Foods. And I believe we have a video of Iberia Foods. If we do, can we see that video now? Iberia Foods, our sponsor for the final segment, which is really just to say thank you all so much. But first, we lift up all our Power 100, all 100 of you and the others that are yet to come. Okay, because we know that we have more names. God bless you all. On behalf of the Rodneys, Carl and Faye Rodney, and the entire staff at New York Carib News, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Iberia, Best Deal Car Service, Tower Isles, VP Records, Spectrum, for being with us. And we say thank you to all our audience members on all the platforms that you're on. You're seeing my grandson who decided to come and pay a visit. So he's saying thank you as well. Audience members, recipients, our elected officials, musicians, singers, and all the friends of Carib News. Thank you. We close out with a message and a song from Andy Basford. God bless you. Stay safe. Stay well. Partnership for Progress and Power. Until we meet up again, walk good. I'm Janice Lawrence Clarke saying thank you. Good night.